started here. I think most everyone's here. I know it's an exciting time for the guys and Allen County-Scottsville basketball. Exciting day for our program. I want to introduce our new boys basketball coach. Had a good interview, good search, a lot of positive comments, and we're excited for him today. I know his family's here, and they're excited to be a part of the ACS family. And we want to extend our welcome to Coach and to being a part of our family. And just to let him know, we all work together here. We're all part of one, so if you need anything, just feel free to ask.
Yes,
you've
sir.
been around the small communities before.
Yes, sir.
You know how this works.
Yes, sir.
Coach C, Chaykowsky, Coach C, has had over 900, coached in 900 games. He's been in basketball coaching for 30 years. He's been a head high school coach for 15 years, worked at the college level for 12 years. So we've got a guy that has a lot of experience on the sidelines. He's eager to get started. He's ready to go. And so we want at this time welcome Coach Nick Chaykowsky.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Coach. Well, I first would like to thank Mr. Davis and Coach Harwood for giving me the opportunity, and Mr. Jackson, Superintendent, for giving me the opportunity to be the head coach here. I would also like to take a moment to thank my family. Without them, I don't think I would be sitting here. In particular, my daughter, for giving me her blessing to do something that I always dream about and talk about, but thank you so much. To the guys and the people here in the community, I am so ready. I feel like there's a lot of great things here at this school that can become parts of a tradition that we want to try and build on, because I feel like first, there's a great staff already here in place. I talked to both coaches last night on the phone. Guys, I talked to Coach Napier last night 2 hours. There's a lot of great things going on already. So to me, that's a huge plus for us as a group. And then on top of that, I really feel like that, you know, getting to be involved with you guys as much as I can, as soon as I can, would give us an opportunity to be successful right away. And I like to take a moment to thank Lex Lindsay. You know, if it wasn't for the conversation we had, I was on the road recruiting. I don't think I'd be sitting here right now. But he's laid the groundwork in year one. I don't necessarily think this is a rebuilding process this first year. I really feel like we can build off of what he's gone through this past year, and you guys have gone through this past year, and turn this thing into a successful program.
What was the attraction to this school for you and your family?
First, it was, I would say, proximity. My wife grew up, and our family grew up in the Nashville area. She's a Lipscomb High School grad. So getting the opportunity to be near her family was probably the #1 reason, I would say. Second, obviously, there's a lot of similarities. I was the head coach at Ballard Memorial High School, small community, and we accomplished a lot of success at that school. That they had never had success ever at that school, and a lot of the same qualities that Ballard has are a lot of the same qualities that are here. You know, kids that want to get up early in the morning and work, kids that want to, you know, committed to doing things the right way, character. You know, playing the game the way it needs to be played, and from talking to coaches already, they're already doing that. So to me, those are kind of some staples of having a good program, and things you can build with and start with.
If people aren't familiar with your coaching style, what kind of team can we expect to see?
Well, I tell you, you know, as a head coach, if you come into the situation thinking that you have this is what we're going to do, and I'll make these guys fit this, then I think you're shooting yourself in the foot. I'm going to watch the kids play. It's first and foremost. I want to get the gym open, get them playing, so I can watch them play. And at that point, using our staff that's on board already, talking, communicating, figuring out what needs to be fitted. Traditionally, I've always been a guy that runs a fast break, runs a numbered break, run a secondary offense, and then from that point get into some sort of running sets, And then at that point, those sets would take us into a continuity offense. I feel like the continuity offense that I've run over the years is a really good, strong offense that can go against man, go against zone. You can run it against man, zone, or matchup. So to me, it'll be an integral piece of what we're doing. But as far as offensive style, I think that'll be something that'll be dictated by their strengths as players, particularly set-wise. Defensively, I've been a man-to-man guy. I was fortunate enough to play for Richard Schmidt. Don't know if you know the name. Some of you may know the name. He was the head coach at Ballard High School a long time ago, won a state title in 1977, and coached Jeff Lampley, Raker, Jerry Eves. And playing for him and coaching under him, he has really kind of taught me the process of how to guard the basketball and how to defend the basketball as a group. So I think man-to-man will be a staple of what we do. Then I think we'll throw in some zone, mix up some things matchup-wise, but for the most part, we'll be a hard-nosed guarding team. We're going to do some things defensively to kind of get people out of comfort zones.
You mentioned that you had a 2-hour phone conversation last night with assistant coach. I mean, what have you already learned about things?
Well, I'll tell you, just things of the nature of, you know, how the guys are eager to learn, how their willingness to come to practice and be on time and work. I think I gathered that right away. Also, the fact that they were competitive this year, even though they might have wins and losses aren't always the best measure on how a team can be competitive. But there was a lot of talk about how successful the team can be in the future.
You mentioned also talking with Lex. I mean, what were those conversations like just in that transition, I guess?
He talked about how last year they ran a lot of motion offense, did a lot of things with the ball being spread and being patient. We'll do some things similar to that. I think the continuity offense that we run will be something that will be similar to the motion offense. But as far as details, we talked a little bit about defensively. They ran some zone situations. They're more of a zone team than a man team. They had some man principles. But those are some of the concepts we talked about.
Coach C, the coaches I've dealt with through the years say that when their own kids go through the process of being a high school student athlete, it makes them a better coach. And a lot of times it doesn't matter the sport, but obviously you have a son that plays basketball, you have a daughter that plays volleyball. Have your experiences with them and just listening to them, what they're going through, made you a better coach?
No question. I feel like as a coach, you want to listen to your players and feel out what they're thinking, because ultimately they're the ones that are on the floor. I'm just going to be sitting on the sideline watching. And I value the input of a player because that value transforms the team sometimes. It might take the team from being, you know, coach, I noticed that we could do this a little bit better, or we could do this a little bit differently. And as a coach, if I'm, you know, put a wall up and don't want to listen, progress won't be there. And so the one thing that I've learned, in particular from those two young people over there that I've been fortunate enough I'm very proud of, they're very open and they communicate well, and that is a characteristic that I would try to instill in our team, is having some good communication on the floor all the time.
Coach, have you had a chance yet to take a look at some of the other teams in our district coming up this season?
Well, I'll tell you, in conversation last night, we played Barron County when I was at Ballard back in 2010, and I remember them being a hard-nosed team defensively, and Coach Napier kind of said, you kind of hit the nail on the head. That's usually what they are. I'm not familiar with Glasgow, other than I just know that they had some injuries this year, so they're going to be young. And then Monroe County, I know a couple years ago they had a young man that we actually looked at recruiting-wise at Shawnee Community College. And but other than regards to specifics, in regards to what zones, man, offensively, are they fast, are they slow, are they, you know, they're going to dictate tempo, that's something that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time watching film on to get a good grasp of what they're doing.
You'll be the third head boys basketball coach here in 3 seasons. How important is it, just from your perspective, to build some
Rapport?
staying power? You know?
I think showing the young men that I am dedicated to them, and I feel like you know, being a family man, I've been going on 25 years of marriage, young men. Something y'all need to think about down the road. I will try and share with them the importance of being concrete and explain to them the importance of just being committed to something. And that, whether that's basketball or that's life or that, you know, that's a quality that needs to be valued, because nowadays a lot of kids don't value that. And so that's something that I'm going to share with them on a daily basis.
We were talking a while ago, Coach, you talked about building a family atmosphere program.
Absolutely. I really feel like we're going to try and do some things as a group that are centrally located as a group, as a family. You know, I told Coach Napier last night, I told him, I was like, one of the things I like to do at the beginning of the season is have the seniors over and have a steak dinner and just sit down and just share and fellowship and spend time together. To me, that is just a small piece of trying to incorporate a family atmosphere. Spending time in a locker room, spending time on a floor, going on a bus ride to a location and sitting in a locker room before the game and just sharing with them those moments. And then while you're in that moment, giving them the opportunity to go, you know what, I can look up to that man and say, I respect that man. And to me, that will just make the situation a lot stronger and become more of a family situation.
Not to put you on the spot, but do you have any goals for the first season?
Goals for the first season. It's a great question. Haven't had a lot of time to think about it. But I can tell you this, we will play the game the right way. We will show character, and you'll see a lot of cheering for each other. That'll probably be some of the things I talk about quite often.
I do want to say thanks to all of our media outlets. I mean, you guys cover us well, and we really appreciate media being here as far as the coverage that we get. So thank you for that. Family, thanks for being with us, sharing this day, and welcome to the ACS family. So that's all I have, unless you have anything else.
I wouldn't mind just get a chance to just talk to some of the boys if I can. In particular, maybe some of the seniors want to hang around a little bit, just talk to you a little bit. I think that'd be a good thing. Other than that, if y'all got questions for me, go ahead and shoot them at me. I'm ready.
Mike, you want any players, or y'all want any players?
Oh, one last thing I don't mind mentioning, and I think this is important. You know, I really feel like coming from Henderson County High School, where they really incorporate being college and career ready, and I think a lot of schools are in that focus. If there's anyone in this room that has aspirations about playing college basketball, I feel I can certainly help that situation. I've got enough experience and have made a network, a group of people that I can make contact with these men if that's what they want to do someday. So I really feel like that's something as a program that I feel like that I don't want them to feel like, well, granted, high school basketball only lasts so long, but if there's someone out there that would like that opportunity, you know, I think there's an opportunity possibly out there for them. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.